Good morning, fam. Today is Tuesday, the something, April 30th. By the way, April the 1st was my birthday, and everybody missed that, so it's all good. Anyway, we're going to talk about living in fear. You know what? Went on a little vacation slash grow with live video. Dave Ramsey was there, and an older gentleman that's like 40-something years old, younger than me, named Pat Flynn was there. And that's the point I'm getting to. A couple of other people that were there. I think it's important, and they all touched on the same subject as fear, living in fear. It's like you have a family member and you say, hey, I want to go start a business or I want to go do that. And there's no support there. And then all of a sudden, what does that make you do? Maybe you think, I think they know something, and then you're afraid to do it. I remember when I was younger, I was like 18 or 19 years old teaching gymnastics, and I was afraid to order pizza. Never done that. Never had to do that in my life. Imagine that. Me afraid to call up someone to order some pizza. The guy at the time who was, I would call him my mentor because he was like the best coach ever that I was learning from. He just laughed. And back then he was like, just order it and see what happens. Nothing happened, but you know, there are some people in the world who are afraid to do things. And I think that as people, we have so much power to do what we need to do, and we're just not doing it because we're living in fear. I read something a while ago that said fear is often false. Fear is often described as false evidence appearing to be real, and that is so true. A lot of guys that are walking around and girls are walking around could be so much more, but somebody told them that they were not worth it and that they were not going to be able to be amount to anything. I've had teachers say that to kids. I've had teachers told me I could never use a calculator. There would never be a calculator available in my life in the future at any time. Of course, we have cell phones. There's calculators on cell phones, computers all day long, right? So these are things that I think that slows us down as people. We can't just live in fear all day long, man. And another reason why you don't want to live in fear is because it keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck. Like out here on the farm, yesterday I was going to go cut like 40 acres, okay? And I had to go out there and I have to clean my tractor, and then there's a flat tire, and then there's my other lawnmower doesn't work, and I'm like, really? I have to learn how to fix these parts. Now, I didn't want to. I just hire somebody to do it, but no, I really need to. I was afraid that I might mess up the lawnmower. It's so stupid. I mean, come on, man. There's people been working on this stuff for decades. You know what I mean? And that's something I had to stop myself and think, you know what? Don't do that. Just be you and do what you know what you can do. And, you know, I mean, I can always go back in my, coaching days. Fear has killed a lot of dreams from kids who could have done great things. All they had to do was take their ability to the next level, but they were afraid that they were going to fail. You must fail over and over again to get what you want. That's the gig. Like, I know a lot of people want to start a YouTube channel, but they're afraid to put their face out there because they're afraid that their friends are going to say something, that their family members are going to say something, or they're afraid that some haters are going to say something. Haters are supposed to say hateful things. That's their job in the world. You know what I mean? So let them. Don't be afraid of that. You might have a message that you can be helping the next person down the street, around the world, to could be at the end, and they're like, I'm about to end it all, and then they hear your message, and then you're like, I did that? You would not believe the stories I have heard at this event of people helping others, and it's just a beautiful thing, man, how people come together, and I just hate for everyone to just live in fear because they're afraid. Don't be afraid of anything. If you're breathing, if you're walking around and you know there's something that you can do, do it. Do it. Do it. Like, for example, I went to the 7-Eleven store in Las Vegas because we had that event in Las Vegas. And it's the best 7-Eleven store ever. I walk in, and these couples, they're sitting there, and they're just stressed out about the world. I did a video on this. Stressed out about the world, but they got to Las Vegas. They traveled a long way. I mean, I think they came from South Africa, a long way just to be there. And I thought, Now, from my understanding, they didn't have a lot of money, but they wanted to visit Las Vegas because they've seen it. And when they got there, they noticed that everything was pretty expensive. And it is expensive in Las Vegas. You don't know what you're doing. We used to go all the time. I used to gamble back in the day. Not gamble like an addiction gamble, but every once in a while we gamble like $200 or $300 and that's it. Now I don't even touch it because it's dumb. But anyway, but this couple, they were like looking for something cheap to buy. They went to a 7-Eleven store off the strip because if you go to a 7-Eleven store or any kind of Walgreens store on the strip, you're going to be paying extra dollars. And they were buying lunch meat, no bread and chips. And, and I was like, where y'all from? They're from, well, we're from South Africa. We've always heard about Las Vegas. We wanted to be here, but we just didn't know how expensive it was. We got our tickets here and we're here, but, we're really trying to cut down. And I felt so bad because I felt bad, but I felt good at the same time because here are people who've never been in this country, here for the first time. They're visiting one of the most expensive places in the world, and they're living it. They're living the dream, yo. You know what I mean? They're doing their thing. And I thought this is such a great thing for them to do. So I was like, wow. And I ended up buying that salami or whatever chips they had for them because I thought, you know what? I don't want them to ruin their trip because everything is so expensive here. And the great thing about that is my hope for doing that is for them to think, oh, man, we went to this place and people were great. I hope other people were nice to them too, because I feel that it's my duty as I meet people is to leave them with a great happiness impact, an impact in their life. And regardless of what kind of day they had, I wish and I hope that I touched them somehow. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be all about buying people stuff. It could be just encouraging statements or connecting with them. I mean, what's wrong with meeting a person from across the world and connecting with them on like this or Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or Discord or how many other communications we got back there? And so it's one of those deals that it's one of those, I think, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just do that. So think about this. Why is everybody so afraid? Can't be afraid of everything. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You don't even know if it's real. I know if you turn on the news, you're going to see all kinds of stuff that's going on, right? And you're like, oh, Lord, I need to turn this off. The world is going crazy. I need to lock the doors. I need to start stockpiling everything. I need to get on it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those deals. As you're rising up today, as that person or whoever is telling you can't do something, rise above it. Tell them you're not scared. Say, I'm not scared. And move on.